We are live.
Okay, hi. Yeah, we're live now. Perfect. So, hi everybody. Thank you for joining us on our Mystical Wellness podcast. I have a fantastic guest this evening. My guest is Jay Skyrunner, who is a multi-dimensional energy healer, a Qi Gong practitioner and channel with a powerful story of spiritual awakening and self-mastery. From a young age, Jay experienced astral travel and spontaneous access to other realms, laying the foundation for his unique connection to energy and consciousness. As a teen martial artist, he developed a new deep sensitivity to Qi energy, which later evolved through his father's teachings in Qi Gong. And after his father's passing, Jay reconnected with him through the astral plane, reigniting his commitment to energy work. And he went on to deepen his Qi Gong practice, attending wellness events and began healing with others and witnessing profound transformations in those that he worked with. And I can experience that too. So we had a great session together. So through meditation and channeling, Jay received guidance to create a new healing modality, and it blends ancient energy principles with channeled insight. So Jay offers a unique path to healing and empowerment for those seeking deep spiritual alignment. So Jay, thank you so much for joining me this evening. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I haven't did any shows in a while, and
is there a delay?
Yeah, I'm just finding. Yeah, I've been putting a lot of stuff out, but it's hard to get the info out, right? So I'm gonna start doing some more shows. I'm glad that you agreed to have me on so I can talk about this, because I find that we're in the time now that we got to get more into the self-work for ourselves, right? We're in these new energies, and I'm just thinking it's very important for us to start actually.
I've been thinking about self-help. Yeah. Years ago, it used to be all about self-help books, and we've kind of veered away from self-help and gone like outside of us. We need to go back into self-help. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just touched on something.
Tell us about how things started for you.
Yeah, I will. You just touched on something that reminded me of something that I've been putting in my healing talks is when we go within to become the I am, we don't let the outside world create our inner world, right? Because a lot of times what goes on out there, we think that's what we are: a worker, a taxpayer, a construction worker, and also the outside world creates our inner world. So I try to connect the Qigong with more of going into the I am. And I'm finding when people do that more connection, no matter what healing modality you do, the more of a connection that I call getting to the celestial realms, because we're becoming more of the I am and non-attachment. Because a lot of people can learn Qigong or Reiki or whatever else and just focus on that as a protocol, but not really becoming the I am. And you know what I mean? I don't know if we got a lag there or not, but yeah, I'm trying to combine the Qigong with more of the channeled messages I got, because
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we just had a little lag. So
tell us about your martial arts. Tell us about your martial arts and how that has helped you with your energy work.
Well, when I was doing Taekwondo and Hapkido and stuff when I was a teenager and in my 20s, we would do a lot of breathing exercises that our instructor had. And whenever I did the breathing instructors, I could feel like the Qi energy build up. Like I would get stronger and more energized. And I watched a lot of movies, old ancient Kung Fu movies with Bruce Lee and stuff that talked about using your Qi, right? And people didn't even believe in Qi back then, really. But, when I was in my early teens or 20s. So, but it was like I felt that Qi and I had an inner knowing of the Qi. So it's like I kind of felt that. But when I got back into Qi Gong, I did it because I wanted to heal myself. Because after my father passed away, I was drinking alcohol a lot. Like I probably would have drank myself to death. You know what I mean? Like going on months benders at a time and smoking too many cigarettes, and I'd get myself really sick. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back, do this Qigong movement. And I went to the doctor, and they actually said I had lung disease. So I went home and I was doing one of the Qigong movements that my father had. And I was supposed to go back to the doctor. I don't know how many days later it was now to check up on my lungs again. So I did this one for healing of the lungs, and I did it every day for about an hour a day. And my lungs got better on day 2. Then when I went back, they were like, the doctor said, there's nothing wrong with your lungs. So I was like, okay, that works really fast. Then it happened with a kidney issue. The doctor said my kidneys weren't working properly, so I did Qigong stuff for the kidneys. And then I went back, and they were like, "Oh, your kidneys are fine." So I started doing the Qigong movements like every day with meditation music on it. And there was a spiritual group here in town. I would go do talks, and I did some sessions on people, and I healed a woman's heart disease the first session and someone's arthritis. And I'm like, oh, okay, wow, this works really fast, right? But then I don't know, things kind of shifted. I never got asked to do anything, and no one wanted to learn anything about it. So I just kind of went on about my own thing, right? So, but when I was getting into the Qigong meditations, the first time I did it, I couldn't get through it because I become clairaudient. I started getting messages coming in. This is back in 2011, mind you. So I got a book and started writing in it. Then things went away for a while, and in about 2015, 16, I was channeling healing information. So I started writing a book about healing. And Qigong is just a word, right? Like it means energy work. And I think a lot of times when I talk about Qigong, people think about Shaolin monks in robes doing big long forms like Tai Chi, and that's not what it is. Because the version of Qigong I did was made for everyone for self-healing. It was more of a healing modality, working with Qi energy, right? So it can be done sitting, standing up. You don't have to learn anything that's complicated. It's all about visualization and breath work. So if I'm moving my hands like this, I can visualize a light, right? Moving around a bright light. Because I'm using my third eye or whatever, just to visualize seeing something. You're visualizing bringing energy into you. And there's more to that I'll get into. But when you visualize, you're using imagination. And imagination means I magic nation, because we're all magical wizards ourselves, right? Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it ain't real. So it's not about even believing that healing works. It's just if you use your visualization, your imagination, you're actually creating things out in the ether and bringing it into yourself. So once you get that kind of inner knowing with no matter what healing modality you're doing, it starts to become a lot more powerful. So I'm still calling it Qigong because that's where I got the basis from, and it's so related to Qigong, my channeled messages. It's almost like how I incorporate my new messages in with what I learned, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's really simple to do. Like it's so easy. That's why I've been pushing it for a long time, trying to get people to learn it because it's so easy and beneficial, right? Because I find a lot of people don't want to do the self work. They'd rather just have someone do a session on them or else study and read about stuff. But the channel messages I've been getting about it is we are celestial beings, right? We're aspects of our higher selves, and we're not just a human body that's weak. Like we're all powerful, and we have the mechanics within our body to heal ourselves and to open up our own portals within our energy field to be our own healers, our own psychics, and for DNA upgrade and accessing our own Akashic records and we can become powerful here now, not have to pass on and go to the other side. Like our bodies, even though people say we're a slave race or whatever, or trapped in a simulation, it doesn't mean that we're weak. Like all these different races donated their DNA to make us. So that's why I say we're ultimate human 2.0 avatar, because once we activate, it's almost game over for the dark side. Like we can bring spirit to matter and create a heaven here on earth. Because even though we're saying it's a simulation, it doesn't mean it has to be bad. It can be a good place to have an experience. Just that we're run by maybe some not so good beings, right? That's scared of our power, so they're keeping us trapped down, right? So I talk about a lot of this stuff on my channel outside of my healing course, but it all ties in together, right? Because if we can start doing the self work, because we're a body, human body, we've got mechanics within itself. If we can open our meridian flow to work properly every day, we're not going to get sick, and we're going to be more energized. And with the chakras and in Qigong, there's just different energy centers. They don't really call them chakras, but it's the same thing. We're keeping them open, powered up. Then we got our organ system too, right? That's very important. Like Qigong works on a lot of organ system stuff, because there's one of my videos I said, I think this was pretty cool, how, if your liver can get angry at your pancreas, then your pancreas steals energy from the liver, then your heart gets mad, and your heart says, F you, okay, I'm not friends with you no more. Then, because the body is the kingdom of God, then we have disharmony within the kingdom, right? Then everything gets out of whack. So doing the Qigong and the stuff that I added to it with my own modality, it's kind of like how we balance that all out so we become more of the whole and connect with our higher self, really. Has more of a spiritual aspect to it than just doing movements. Sorry, I just rambled on a lot.
So for people who, that's okay. So for people who have no idea what Qi Gong is, do you know a bit about the history of where it's come from, and kind of break that down? And how did you learn it? Was it from your dad? Was it?
That's how I started, yeah. But after I got really a deep dive into the system that he did, like I say, that's when I become clairaudient, started channeling. So since then, it's been mostly me picking up my own info for healing after that. But I still like to call it Qigong because it's so similar. Like I still do hand movements with breathwork and visualization, right? So that's what makes it powerful, because we're using our visualization to create that. And Qigong, where it come
Yeah.
from, it's like, I don't know when, it's been around, like you can go back to the old dynasties in China, right?
Mm.
And the Shaolin monks, and it was kind of like a hidden thing one time, right? Like it was secret, kind of.
Yeah.
But there was also, this is kind of strange, I read about this, but there was also like not so good versions of Qigong. Like people left and started their own kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, like some kind of like an occult version. I know occult, it means good, really, but they would start their own, I don't know how you, like a bad dark side of the force. they started their own ways to use Qigong for non-nefarious reasons, right? So
I never even
but
thought that was a thing, that you could harness the dark energy with something like Qi Gong. That's really interesting.
yeah, and when I was channeling the information that's coming to me, I know channeling's a two-edged sword, because there was so many fake channelings from like the Pleiadians and stuff out there. But what I could grasp from what I was channeling, it was Pleiadians and Lemurians. It was saying they before, like China, like the Pleiadians came here because we had so many resets, and a lot of different races try to claim us as first species. That's why everyone's arguing about the galactic history right now, trying to figure it out. But it was like back in Lemuria, we were 12-strand DNA, and something happened and we went back down to 2 or whatever. Then when we did have Pleiadians coming here, they went back to ancient Lemuria. I don't even know. This is just something I channeled myself, so take it with a grain of salt. That they were teaching energy work, kind of like Qigong, kind of like what I do, to them back then to help with trying to get the body back the way it was. I think we got a lag. I think you froze.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of interference coming in.
Oh well,
So, but
that's okay.
it
You're
should be
working
okay.
now.
It's just coming and going. This thing to talk about, I get
Yeah,
some.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
but I'm
You're a long
still
ways
here.
away
I
from
still
me
hear
too.
you. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
so that's kind of how that's the channel message I got of where I'm
Okay,
getting
carry
info
on.
from.
Carry on.
It was kind of like
Yeah, I get
Arcturian.
a lot of targeting on my electronic.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I was just saying that's kind of how the channeling come from. I think
Yeah.
that was where I was kind of picking that energy up from. But then since then, I was channeling again that said, don't worry about who it comes from. They're just names of beings, right? And then I was getting more aspects of like the higher realms, like of the aeons, like the Elohim and the real ascended masters. I've been picking up info from them. So I picked up a movement that's like Qigong called Realm of the Ascended Masters. And it's how to bring energy from this portal in the northeast sky that we can look to and bring energy into our third eye to help activate our third eye and stuff like that. You can use it for other things. You can almost ask for what you want to bring the energy in for, right? Because
Where did you
I was
get that
picking up
from?
that
Was
week.
that channeled?
Where did I get it from?
Yeah. Did you channel that information about the Ascended Masters?
Yeah, just through automatic writing.
Oh,
Because what I was picking up on that is we are ascended masters. We have versions of ourselves in the ascended master realm, and you know how we break off soul shards and incarnate as many. Like we are like the sons of the Elohim, right? The ascended masters, I think I'm not sure. I got to research it, but I try not to research too much because I don't want to develop a belief system. I just put out what comes to me and just go with that. I guess I don't know. So sometimes I got to question it too. Like, but to me, when it seems like it's for our highest interest, I don't see it as being a bad message. So So where we are higher aspects of ourselves, or ascended masters wanting to experience being here on Earth, like I think a lot of us incarnated here as a part of the ascended master. So I think that's why I got the information to help to bring that energy into us for activating ourselves. So that's what I think,
That's
anyway.
really cool. Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about Shambhala? Because a lot of people think the ascended masters live in Shambhala, and you were talking about in the Northeast. So do you think that could be where you're getting that energy from? Is Shambhala like
I'm not sure.
Himalayas or?
I'm not sure. I would just, the way I see it is like it's like a Stargate kind of thing in the Northeast. Up, if you look up to the Northeast, like I was showing that there's a
Yeah.
Stargate portal there, and I don't know. I don't know about, because we don't know, right? Like I don't know if we're under a firmament, a dome, or whatever, right? But
Mhm.
whatever's up there, we can access something to bring in here. If we are, in a prison planet, there's portals that we can bring in, but I'm not sure about that. But I'm not sure whether what we're in, a realm, a dome, an earth. So I know I watch a lot of shows, people talk about it. It's interesting. We will figure it out someday, maybe. But
Yeah.
but the thing is, we shouldn't focus so much on what if. We should focus on what we can do with our own body here now, right?
Yeah. That's really cool. Because you call the supercharged human avatar. So what goes into the process of supercharging the human avatar?
Okay, yeah. So now we're two-strand DNA, right? Two or three? I'm not sure what we are.
Mm.
So we were meant to be like super beings, right? That's why all the races donate their DNA, and our 23rd chromosome is Pleiadian, I think. I'm not sure. So we have the codes within us to activate to become all powerful. So if the controllers, whether it be Archons, Anunnaki, or whatever, they're trying to keep us dumbed down, so they don't want us to turn into the super 2.0 avatar blueprint human of the universe, because if we do, like I said, it's game over for them because we become like superheroes, right? And it just starts with working with ourselves. And what I'm finding for me, like, I can't fly. Of course, I'm not a superhero, I can fly yet. But if you start out by working with your innate DNA smart body, incorporating your higher self, getting your energy flow going, it's not all spiritual. Like, we can't ignore the body. We agreed to come into the body as well. Like, a lot of us think it's all spiritual. Oh, I can't wait to die and not come back here. I don't want to incarnate. But this is something that our higher selves and our soul chose to come into, to be a part of this process, right? So we got to start working with ourselves. It's not, I don't think it's something that we can just do and activate in 2 days. Like, I think we all got to kind of do it together, because more of us that act, working with this energy together, more we're going to create that energy, right? So I think it's important if everyone does some kind of work, you know what I mean, right? Like, if we're all doing the self work, we're going to increase
Yeah.
energy,
What does your
because we're all
daily
connected.
routine look like for you?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
what do
usually
your
pick
personal practices look like? What do you do? Yeah.
well, lately I've been doing what I call Qi Gong walking. I made a short on my YouTube about that. So a lot of stuff's pretty simple, right? Like, a lot of times we just get up and we have our coffee and rush off to work. Because when we wake up, we're coming out of dreamtime societies in the astral when we wake up, right? And that's the time to do some work. And we just get shoved right into this. We wake up and we get shoved right into this world that's not ours. Go out and do your job and rush out the door, and our bodies get out of whack. So I come and go. Like, sometimes I don't do it for a while, then I come back to it. I got to get more back into the work every day myself. That's what I've been trying to do now for the last little while. But I just knew how powerful it was when I actually did it every day for 100 days a long time ago, right? So I do the Qigong walk, and like, I won't eat in the morning. I'll just, get water, maybe put some Himalayan sea salt in it just because of the health benefits for the body. And I'll just go for a minimum of 20-minute walk, but I'll breathe in for the count of 4 slowly, then out for the count of 4 my whole walk. So I'll breathe energy into the solar plexus. Just picture energy coming in the solar plexus. I'll just breathe in through my nose 4 times and out through my mouth 5 times and just go about my walk. So what you're doing energy work, because you're bringing energy into the solar plexus and you're practicing your slow rhythmic breathing at the same time. And you're kind of resetting your body, right? Like, what that does is, it's been shown to, I had a friend of mine do it, had high blood pressure, and after 2 days of doing it, his blood pressure normalized. So that will like lower your blood pressure, your blood sugars, reset your body, because you're actually getting up and putting some water and healthy stuff in your body, and you're fasted. You're not just cramming food and going to work and having negative thoughts about your day. You're just taking that 20 minutes. It's kind of meditative. It's like meditation in motion, right? So it's just something simple as doing that every day. That might be all you have to do. You know what I mean? For one person, if that's all they want to do for, say, a month, just do that. Then I like doing different things, right? Like diving deep into one
Tell us
thing instead
about
of doing several.
Tell us about when you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, because I was catching one of your videos, and that's something
Oh,
I try and do a lot more now, is activate the roof of my mouth. Yeah.
oh, you've seen that? Okay.
So what are the benefits of that? Yeah.
Okay. Well, what that is in Qi Gong, they don't even talk about this much. This was through how my father learned, right? Because of the Qigong master, that he kind of went against the system, and people didn't like him because he brought it here to teach a simple version for healing. And like I say, over in China, they try to keep it long and complicated to make it kind of secretive.
Yeah.
So when you connect your tongue to the roof of your mouth, it's a connection, right? So the energies that's coming up the front channels with your tongue on the roof of the mouth, it helps connect the back channels of your body, so your energy can flow through your energy centers to the front and down the back a lot better. That's why I said it increases 100-fold, because if you don't do it, the energy will still go, but it's going to be slower and not as effective. So even if you do that walking thing I said, you go breathe in and out for the count of 4 for a 20-minute walk, connect the tongue to your roof of your mouth as well. And if you really want to get in healing from that, when you go for your walk, like when you breathe into your solar plexus, on every exhale, just picture smoke leaving your whole body through every cell, releasing all negative energy that could be in your body. I just picture it as smoke leaving. That's a good way to visualize it. Like I said, we're using our eye imagination, right? Eye imagination. So we're bringing that into creation within our magnetic field. We're releasing all that negative energy, whether it's a physical ailment or a blockage that could cause an ailment, right to entity attachments, and people's talking about astral chips and etheric seals and plants. It will remove those the same. There's no special big long course you got to learn, because everything's energy. Even an entity is energy. I can remove an entity attachment the same as I remove a negative blockage in my body, because, well, some people will say, well, no, that's an entity, it's a being, you can't do that. But at the same time, everything comes from God's source, right down to the smallest molecule. Everything's the same, whether it's this desk, an entity, or me, right? So that's why I find it, what I've been channeling, so powerful, because it can be used for everything. You don't have to take this course, that course, another course. Just try to make it your own too, right? Like the way I teach it is you make it your own. Like you can visualize what you want. You're not studying exactly what I do, right? So I put the foundation there, then you can kind of turn it into your own as you go.
So do you think that this same course is going to help people with their psychic sight and switch on the clairsensors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it will.
I just kind of got a reminder to ask you about black goo in the body, and I'm not sure why, but when you tune into the body with Qi Gong, is that something that you can highlight as like grey tones and black goo and unwanted stuck energies, and you can just breathe that out?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. And there's different things.
Yeah.
There's different things
What do you think all that is?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I never even really thought about black goo that much. Some stuff I kind of stayed away from. I'm just not letting it bring that into my realm of creation. So I don't, a lot of this fear-based stuff, I just put it over here. I don't think we need to focus on a lot of this stuff, right? And it works like my Qigong. It got into the SSP and targeted individual stuff. I channeled how to use that energy for that too, right? So, but my thing is with all the targeted individuals, they're I don't want to piss people off, but I just got to put the information out as it comes to me. No, but some people get mad at me when I say things, but sometimes I'll channel things and write it. I'll write things out just because it come to me, right? Because it might mean something. So I'm like, I can't ignore it. But then people kind of get,
even though I'm supposed to be like the original targeted individual in the TIRAP program, but it's like, go on.
No, it's targeted individual. It's real. Targeted individuals are real. Like I've been targeted before on certain levels, right? I think a lot of us are. But a lot of people play on the victim mentality because it gets them out talking a lot, and it's like, oh, poor me, poor me. You see it all the time, right? And I can't help them because when you help them, they're addicted to the trauma. They're addicted to the trauma. They like the, I don't know, it's almost like they're addicted to the trauma. I call it, they spiritualize their pain, right? Because they get to the point where they can't remove it themselves, and when they hire a healer, they're having a hard time removing it because the person that's getting it done to them is addicted to the trauma, and it's making it almost impossible for someone to remove it for them. They got to actually connect to their more inner knowing, right? And then their healer can remove it for them, or they can remove it themselves.
I think they're just owning it. So it's coming to their awareness, and they're owning the fact that they're targeted. And then once they've owned it, it's stuck in the system then. And it's hard for them to isolate. For me, it was more of a realization. Oh, okay, is that why things are so weird? Oh, well, that's nice to know. And then I just carry on. And I try not to own it. I know it might be going on around me, and I know it's definitely happening every time you talk about it. I get interference on the computer. So that's going on. But the stuff in my pain body, I try not to focus on it if I can, because it's just going to amplify anything that's coming in. Yeah.
See, everything, like I got my Qigong course now. I got a private YouTube. I got unlisted YouTube where I give people a private link and they get access for a lifetime of everything. So every day I'm putting up a new video and for a movement, a Qigong movement, from everything I learned to my channel stuff. So they have access for that forever. So that is what I'm working on now. And but Qigong ties into so much on the spiritual level stuff that we're talking about now too, right? So it kind of ties in together.
I've got a question.
That's why I'm saying.
I've got a question. Why did you pick 100 days?
That's just something that if you do Qigong for 100 days straight, it's like you're going to heal your body like back to normal. Like you can anti-age your telomeres and your upgrade your, strengthen your DNA or upgrade and reverse aging. You're bringing yourself back to your youthful state. I call it like your 26-year-old body. Like we're working on reversing everything. So 100 days straight of doing it, whether it's 5 minutes a day, that's okay, as long as you do it 100 days straight. So I'm calling my course 100 Days of Qigong. Obviously, it's more because it's lifetime membership, but that's just the name I decided to go with. But I call mine Celestial Qigong because I'm feel my astral travels. I've been going outside of the 12 dimensions to like the celestial realms, like outside of the dimensional spaces, and I've been kind of connecting with beings there, and I think I'm channeling messages from there. So but I'm putting my Qigong course. My Qigong course is more about self-healing and everything, and not so much on this. But I will put talks like this on there too, if people, you know what I mean, so they can. Because sometimes these talks are pretty helpful with people connect with better of an inner connection, right? But it can be used for the law of attraction and abundance as well. And I'm trying to learn that. I got blocks on abundance because I have a hard time, getting through the months by months, paying rent and bills and all that stuff. So I'm trying to incorporate this in myself. I've been so much talking to other people. I've been so much talking to other people.
Yeah.
I've been so much.
I can help you with the magnetizing. That's something they're moving into, is magnetizing abundance. Yeah.
But, yeah, for sure. But what I was picking up information the other day about doing Qigong is not Qigong, just energy work. I want to call it that. Okay, how's this go? I don't write things down a lot, so I got to try to remember back of what come to me the other day. It'll come to me just in a minute. Yeah, it's like when you're doing energy work, say you're doing visualization. This is say you go within, but actually we're taking ourselves out of ourselves, because a lot of times the outside world creates an inner world, right? And our emotions and stuff are flowing. So when you do Qigong, it's like meditation in motion. We're taking ourselves outside ourselves because we're so into the moment, right? That at that point, when you take yourself outside of yourself, you're no longer the limited mind-body consciousness. You can use the energy within what you're doing with your thoughts to plant seeds in the subconscious mind. Then it's going to work because you're planting seeds in your subconscious mind. Like instead of writing down affirmations like, oh, I'm going to have $1 million. I want a new car. Like the old ways of law of abundance, I don't think really works, because it's just the way your thoughts on materialism occurs when you do it that way, right? But
yeah, I
Anyway,
do
that's just
access consciousness, and in access consciousness, we do pulls, we do energy pulls. So we're pulling everything towards us, everything that's in,
yeah.
you know, harmony, we pull it in. Yeah, the energy. Mm.
Yeah, I read about access conscious a little bit, but no, that's awesome. Like anything to help, I'm interested in learning about that because we all can access abundance, but I think a lot of us are targeted in abundance. You know what I mean? We're targeted by
Yeah, for
whatever to
sure.
kind of
Yeah,
keep us, because we can't succeed in doing what we want when we're slaves to trying to work every day to pay our bills. So I think a lot of us, it's a money targeting abundance thing going on to a lot of us.
yeah, I agree. I think imagine what the light side could do, Team Light could do if we had unlimited wealth and abundance, prosperity.
Yeah,
You know, we seriously take over this planet,
we would,
wouldn't
and
we?
that's the way that's the way it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah,
But unfortunately, we still live in a world where half the people are service to self, not service to others. Like our neighbors could be rich and would rather see us starve and be on the street with our kids than help you, right? Like that's you know what I mean. And besides, people like us and our
yeah.
communities and the podcast we go on, like most of the world is still like that. I think a lot of the people here are still NPCs. They're just they just operate on the AI hive mind, right? Like kind of soulless humans. So they're kind of it's like the Matrix. They'll do anything to defend it, and they're just a part of the Matrix. And it can be our family member or anyone, right? Like we don't know. I think a lot of people is like that. I think it froze again.
Sorry, I'm
You'll come back.
losing the connection again. I just stopped my camera for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I am here. It dropped out, so I just switch off my camera until it comes back. It's like the internet's dropped really low on this side. It's just part of my targeting. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, tell us more about your course.
Oh, okay. I lost my train of thought. What we
You
were
still
talking
there?
about a second ago. Oh, my course. Okay. And you can ask as many questions as you want about the healing too. I know you asked me a
Yeah.
few. I do better when people ask me questions. Okay, no, my course is I on my video course is I do everything from what I learned in Qigong from beginner to master levels. Then I get into my celestial Qigong with everything that I channeled on healing, which goes more to the excess in our subconscious mind, our higher self, and I Magic Nation, using magic within our quantum realm. And I do what I find is powerful is the five elements, like working with the elements. And I'm doing two versions because other cultures got different versions of the elements. Of course, I did Qigong first, right?
So when you say five elements, what's your fifth element? What is the fifth element for you? Because for me, it's storm. I work with
Is that
storm. So what's your fifth element?
water?
Mm. Ah,
Water. Yeah, did you hear that?
yeah.
Okay, I didn't
So
know if you got me or
I
not.
work with the traditional earth, air, fire, water. Yeah, but I work with storm as well. So what's your fifth element? Is it metal or is it ether?
Well, I do too. I don't really have a fifth one. I just work on the basis of the hands, right? How we got in Qigong, it's all
Okay.
earth, wood, fire, metal, water. If you use your hands, our hands are connected to the elements. So if one mantra or a mudra, if I want to connect with the earth element, I just use my thumb, right? And I just kind of say to myself, I'm connecting with the element of earth. And you can just kind of do breathing exercises, visualize earth energy coming in, and earth energy heals your stomach. It's connected with the stomach energy. So there's things to do with your fingers for the elements. So like if you want to connect with the element of water, I'll use this finger. You can use two fingers and just put them together. Just do some your own kind of guided meditation of how you're connecting with the water element, and that will heal kidney energy, right? So and there's an exercise I do where I start with water. I bring all the elements into my hand. I close my fist as hard as I can, and I just let my hand rest to the side. Don't flex your muscles, but hold your fist as hard as you can. And I'll just say to myself, I'm bringing all the elements into my body, right? Now I'm holding this as hard as I can. So if you do that for however long you want, then try to release it, starting with your baby finger.
Mm. Yeah, Sean Bond that one a lot when we're just activating the palm chakra there. Sean Bond makes me do that all the time.
Oh, he does this? I'm just waiting for you to come
So I
back.
apologize, guys. My internet goes up and
No,
down
that's fine.
here.
No, but what I do is like I'll bring all the elements into a fist,
Sure.
and if I hold my fist hard as I can for a long time, it's hard to release it. So when you release it, I find that you're activating all the elements through your hand, right? And if you do both at the same time, it's almost like a
Yeah, I
stress
like
reliever
that.
too. But I do that, but within the elements, I'm
Mm.
working with when I'm doing fire elements, like I have these things where you do your visualization, just breath work, right? And doing these certain movements of how you visualize the flame coming around
Mhm.
you, and then you're like shooting it out of the end of your hands. And there's ways to breathe. And there's actually, if people ever want to get into chanting, there's different chants that you do with it too, right? For activation through tones. So I teach all that. Like I got many versions of the elements. I find them
Mm.
very important. I got in a deep dive within myself on the elements the last little while. I try to do a lot of it outside in nature,
Yeah.
right? Like I try to go to
I'm
the trees. And
elemental. I work with elements a lot. But I work with elements and crystals and dragons and all that weird stuff. So
yeah, that's cool. I had a dragon guide once, but that's been a long time ago. I haven't had it in a while. Like it was
again,
it was pretty neat. Yeah, so the elements, yeah, I think
I'm
if we work with the
sorry.
elements, if you think of like the movie Avatar, I think things were hidden in movies like that. So if we're doing the visualization and working with the elements, we're bringing that all into our body, right? Kind of that's why I say activate the avatar because we all are the avatar. I don't know if I lost you.
Perfect.
If you
Tell
gone,
us
oh,
about
here you
your
coming.
martial arts that you do.
Oh, what was that?
Can you hear me? Tell us about your
Yeah.
martial arts.
Oh well, I did
Tell
it.
us about the martial arts that you do.
Okay, well, I'm doing a version of Taekwondo here and Hapkido, kickboxing. I did it when I was younger, right? Then I got out of it for a long time. So I started back last year just because I wanted to do something else, get back into it, right? Like a midlife crisis. I'm getting older. I want to get back into doing things I used to do when I was younger. So I started back last year. So it's good, right? You know, martial arts, going to the gym, any kind of exercise takes you outside of yourself as well because you're kind of focusing on something else, right? Instead of the outside world. So I think all that stuff's kind of important.
What do you think about practices that people can do for mental health and stress reduction?
Any of the Qigong movements, like really any of the ones I do in level
Mm.
one,
Can
it
you
will help.
demonstrate a couple for us?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Well, okay, which ones? I don't know if you can see me. That's the thing. I'm not moved back far enough from the camera. Okay. Oh, where'd you go? I'll wait till you come back. I got one that we can do. I'm gonna take a puff off my vape.
I'm trying to give you space so that you can see, so
Oh,
people can see
okay.
you.
Sorry. Okay, this is one version
Yeah.
of movement. Okay, this is gonna be one version I do for movement of yin and yang. So we bring our hand up, right hand up, and this one here. And I picture it like we're holding a ball too. It's not the energy ball. I do that separate. So the right hand's up. So this is yang energy. So when I inhale, I'll move it over to this side. Then when I exhale, I come back to this side. So the movements are simple, but there's a lot to the visualization. So and breath. So I'm here, right? So when I breathe into the solar plexus is when I change. Then when I exhale, I'll picture smoke leaving my body as negative energy. I do this with all my exercises because this is very healing. You can do it for every movement. You're always bringing energy into the solar plexus. Then on your exhale, you're always picturing smoke leaving your body as negative energy. But while you're here, if you're good at visualizing, or if you can't visualize at first, a lot of people learn how once they start doing it. You can picture whatever color ball here. Like sometimes I'll picture like yellow. So sometimes you'll see an etheric ball. You know what I mean? Some people can see that. So you can just visualize seeing that color as you're moving back and forth between yin and yang. So visualize that colored ball while you're breathing into the solar plexus and exhaling smoke leaving the body. And sometimes when I get to here, I'm back to yin and yang. I'll call it splitting the two energies. I'll bring one hand up and one hand to the earth. I'll inhale universal energy into the right hand, earth energy up into the left. Then I'll bring it back, right? Then I'll do it a few more times, just what I was doing. The next time I'll split the energies this way, and I'll bring the left hand up, bring energy in from the universe, energy from the earth. But when I bring it to my body, I bring this into the solar plexus as well, which is lower dantian, they called it in China. Then I'll come back. So what I'll say to myself as an affirmation before I start this is, I want to balance the yin and yang energies within my body. So by doing this, and the breathing and everything I just discussed, you're balancing your yin and yang, because a lot of us are walking around with our yin and yang energies out of balance. Some people can have too much yang energy, and some people can have too much yin energy. When that gets out of flow and how our meridians work, we might end up getting stuck energy that can turn into anything from cancers to arthritis or a common cold, right? So just by doing those things, that's how I call it like a prevention. I call it our own energy medicine cabinet that we have access to. So that's one I like, because I like to put meditation music on when I'm doing it, because
Yeah. I really like that. It was very present. I could feel my fingertips and everything. How do you approach clients who are having that Kundalini awakening and there's an imbalance and the energy's getting stuck? What do you do with those clients?
I have things I can do, but I can't really tell you because I don't get no clients. You know what I mean? No one knows about me.
Oh.
I think you might be one of the only people that had a session with me. You know what I mean? One of the only few.
Oh, really? I love that session with you. You were so insightful. Like, you tuned into me so quickly. And the
Yeah,
weird
I don't
thing was,
know.
I don't think I ever got to tell you, because you picked up on a shadow being in my mind. And about a week earlier, I'd been woken up with a shadow being in my room. And I don't think I even got a chance to tell you that. And I
Oh,
remember being furious that something was in my room, but straight away you clocked it. And I thought I'd commanded it out of the space, but I hadn't. Somehow I'd let it in, or it was already in, and then I saw it. So, but you
yeah.
picked up on it straight away. It was amazing. Yeah. So guys, that video is on Jay's channel. It's on my playlist as well. So you can go back and see the remote healing he did with me. It was spot on, absolutely spot on. And I think you did remove some implants and things like that. Yeah, it was really good. Highly recommended. Yeah.
No, my thing is, like, no one knows about me, and I have a hard time getting my information out. I think I am being targeted in that sense with algorithms. I don't know if people are seeing my content or not.
Same for me too. Yeah. Oh,
But it's okay.
Hi, Ro.
It's okay. I don't mind even just connecting with a few people like yourself. It's fine. Everything works out on its own, right? But the thing is, if it resonates with people, I want to teach them all this, because then they have it for themselves forever, right? I call it, my goal is, have a healer in every family until everyone becomes a healer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you'll definitely start to get more clients coming in. I mean, we can work on abundance and stuff right now if you want. Because I've got my
I just want to make a note for it. I just want to make a note for anyone watching this. I will do these sessions for people, but I'm not looking to go out and get a bunch of clients just so I can make money or anything like that. But if people want help, I'm here for them. But my main goal is for everyone just to take my course and learn how to do all this for themselves, right? And I think everyone eventually will be able to do it for themselves.
You've got amazing skills there. Absolutely amazing, like natural healer skills that you've developed. So I think the right clients will find you at the right time. It's the same with me. So I go through like fluctuations, and I hardly have anything going on at the moment. Which is why I have my little evening groups and community and things like that. So don't worry.
No, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. That's I had a deep connection on a more of a soul level with you when I did the session with you. That's why I tuned in with you so good, right? So So I just want to say about my healing course too.
In the chat. Hi, Christy.
Oh, she come along, eh? Christy, you got to go back to the first and watch this. We talked about a
Well,
lot of
tell us
cool
about
stuff. That's why I always tell people
yeah.
join in later. I'm like,
Christy's
every time
amazing.
someone joins, when people join in later, even on mine, I say, you got to go back to the first because I talked about so much cool stuff already. But yeah, though, my
Oh
Qi Gong
yeah, there's
courses,
so
I
much
want to
wealth
have
of
it.
knowledge from Jay.
I just want it accessible
Yeah,
to
I'd love
everyone.
to
You know
get
what I
you
mean?
back
I'm
on my Zoom group. I'd love to
like
I'd
when
love
I.
to have you on my Zoom group when I have a little audience, and then we can do like practical things with the group as well. And then but I
Oh yeah.
pre-record those. I don't do them live. Yeah, so I'd love to do that with you at some point. And
No,
Christy's been on my Zoom group as well.
no, I'm interested in that for
Yeah, she
sure.
said.
But what I want to say
Mm.
about my course is like I'm not saying anything bad against people charging a lot of money, but I've seen people putting out Qigong courses that were just very small and wanting up to $1,000 for it. But the way I'm doing it is I'm only charging
Yeah,
$50 for a lifetime $50 for a lifetime membership, right?
yeah,
Just that way I'm not giving it away
mm,
100% free. It gives it a little bit of value. Like $50 ain't bad, but then you have it
yeah,
for you have it forever. You have it forever, right? Because I don't want to go out there and try to be
yeah,
this person and make a living off it. Say I want $1,000 to learn level 1 and 500 to learn level 2. Like I don't want to do that. To me, that don't set well with me, right? I feel like I'm doing disservice then
mm,
instead of doing kind of what we're meant. It's unfortunate we live in a monetary world right now where we have to survive too, right? So it's
yeah.
one
So
of
I
those
put the
things.
link to your course in the intro as well, so people can click on that link and have a look at the details of it. It is just $50, guys. It's really good value because there's 100 days of exercises and loads of videos. Absolutely fantastic. And Jay's just so advanced, aren't you? It's like insane listening to you sometimes. Oh, whoosh.
I
Yeah,
watched you
so
on
really,
Christy's
really
show.
cool. I think,
I watched your show with Christy too. That was amazing. I always like watching
yeah.
everyone else's show because when
Oh,
I
yeah,
watch other people,
we've done a couple. Yeah. Christy's helping me
when I watch,
decode all my weird secret space program stuff that's coming into kind of awareness now. Like a year ago, nobody picked up on it, and then my camouflage disappeared, and then suddenly it's kind of coming in, and Christy's helping me decode that, and
yeah,
she's really good help. Yeah, yeah, awesome.
no, yeah, we have a
So,
connection.
was
Me
there
and Christy have
anything
a
else you
connection
wanted to
in the
mention
Space
about the
Force.
course?
Well, I think we talked about almost everything of how, from healing to abundance to connecting to the celestial realms or higher selves,
Yeah,
I call it working even with our starseed selves, right? Because when we go outside ourselves to this, we're actually connecting to our cosmic
yeah,
brothers and sisters. That's a part of us
it
because
covers
we
a
operate
lot.
on other realms as well. So instead of channeling a being, I think we're bringing information from our own selves, a split from our higher selves that may be a Pleiadian, Arcturian, Andromedan, or whatnot. So when you get working with those energies, it's like I said, it's more of a connection that we start to. I don't even know how to explain it. It just starts coming into us, right? Then we start to be able to channel this messages for ourselves easier. I think it froze again. I'm vaping, trying to get off the cigarettes, but it's a hard thing to do. Just waiting for Julia to pop back on. She got bumped off again, I think, because of bad internet connection.
Yeah, my internet keeps dropping out on me just randomly, and it's targeting. There's nothing. I've upgraded it to like the maximum coverage and things like that. It's made no difference. I've got a 40% interference on the line from I don't know what. So I apologize for dodgy connection, but it's
No, that's
absolutely
okay.
mad. Let me just have a look and see. For somebody who's just waking up and they're noticing that they're suddenly really sensitive to all the energies around them, do you have any tips for people like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's well, it's hard for me to explain that because I relate everything going back and just to doing the energy work, right? Like the one I just did with you, that will help calm their mind and integrating that energy within themselves and come as an easier pace than coming in, hitting them blindsided here and there and causing like some people get anxiety and depression with the awakening. So even just doing the breathing exercises and visualization, you help integrate that energy as a smoother process.
All right. How do you think your celestial Qi Gong is going to kind of evolve in the next 5 years? Do you think it will get more expansive, the energy?
I think so, yeah. Just because I am it's like I'm getting downloads of new information daily, so I can't imagine what's going to happen in 5 years, right? Nothing that's too elaborately crazy. It's
Mm,
more of a soul spiritual interconnection stuff, right? Like the movements may stay the same, but it might be more different things that you can say to yourself or access your higher self. I think we're going to have more of a, I think we're all of us are going to start getting more of a connection to our soul on the other side in the astral, because we're more real there than we are here. That's what we think out there is something different, but like we think of as you die, you go to this place, but out there's more real than here. Like we're kind of in the fake world, right? We're more real on the other side, and this body is a blueprint of the soul. That's why I say we're
yeah.
already perfect and immortal, right? So the more we integrate that into us, I think we can become like immortal and infinite here in this realm if we want to stay here, right? I think we should be not age after a certain point and be able to have an experience in this body, then decide when we want to leave. I think that's kind of our goal, right? But I think when we activate ourselves in this body, we're going to be able to open up our own portals and go to like the fifth and sixth dimension and visit and have experiences, and decide if we want to come back here or go somewhere else. Because outside of the whole simulation, even outside, I call it outside the black cube of Saturn, outside the whole 12th dimension, we're our our absolute light body higher selves, we're immortal and infinite, right? It's kind of like we descended, we descended here, but we chose to do it too, right? But we didn't descend for a purpose of being slaves. We did it as, I think, I keep saying we're going to take the system down from the inside. Like we're like the Trojan horse, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I think over the next 5 years, we're gonna keep spiritually evolving. But I say spiritual because that's what people's used to. On the other side, they don't like the word spiritual because they're like, no, it's more real. They ain't like, because we think spiritual as woohoo, waha. You know, people think, right? But it's like, no, it's more real there than it is here. So I think the more that we get these energies coming in, we'll
Mm.
integrate that with ourselves. And one more thing I want to talk about. Wait, in my celestial qigong, I'm working with an energy body called the innate DNA smart body. Like our soul is the blueprint. Like we're the blueprint design of the soul, right? So our higher self
Mm.
developed as, just picture it as electricity that flows through all of our body, and it's all electrical and DNA, because DNA stores information, right? That's how we can access the Akashic records through our DNA and past lives and off-world incarnations. So our innate DNA smart body that's in us, it's been with us for all incarnations, whether it was on Earth or other realms. So when we work with our innate DNA smart body, we can start accessing, I call it soul codes, accessing our DNA to bring memories of past lives and all that stuff into us, so we wake up to it now instead of the amnesia that we have. It's like a lot of us, we don't work with that,
I
right?
like
Like
that.
even, yeah, like the
Mm.
DNA, the way I'm channeling information is our chi energy is the intelligence of the body, so we can connect our chi with our DNA smart body. So we're using the intelligence of our body to connect with our DNA smart body that's within us to activate soul codes to bring back our remembering and whatever ascension superpowers or whatever it is that we're supposed to become, right?
Mm.
So when I started integrating this is when I started having more off-world remembrance, right? Like I was telling Christy about this. We had a talk one time. Like we talk about the Akashic records a lot, but I seen a grid outside of here that was called the Book of Stars. That we access the
Oh,
Book of
yeah.
Stars to access our off-world incarnations and other realm incarnations. And I was
So it's
talking
like
to a being
galactic
there, and I don't,
records.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I was talking to a being there. I'm not going to say God, because God's a word that was made up by like archons or whatever because they wanted to be God, right? I think Source Creator don't call himself God. There's something out there. I don't know what it is. The all, whatever we come from. A voice come to me. It could have even just been like
Mm.
an angelic being, Elohim or something, right? But I was outside of the 12 dimensions, and it showed me a whole grid system. And the voice said to me was, okay, you're still here to hear me. The voice said that our goal is, once we, become our
Yeah, I still hear
whatever,
you. Yeah.
whenever we come back to our whatever true higher self, whatever that is, because I don't know, but we can look at that grid, and each grid is a different realm where people are having experiences that's totally different versions of Earth than us, or different types of beings, or stuff we can't even picture in our mind because we didn't see. It's outside of our 3D perception, but we can focus on a section of that grid and automatically transport to that area or on that planet or whatever it is, and manifest a body at will to have an experience there without having to be born into and die. We can just do it and leave, go back out into wherever, the void, no space or no time, then say, you know what, look at the whole grid again and say, okay, I want to go have an experience there. Because what it comes down to, what the voice said, is that's how our true meaning of experience in different worlds were. In the way Earth is run, this is the only place that we have to be born to enter and die to exit. The other realms, that we don't have to do that.
That's fascinating. That's really interesting. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. But I get a lot of things too,
Well, I
with
hope you can still
besides the
hear me.
healing
I'm just
stuff. Like, I get a lot of timeline and dimensional spaces happening to me.
Can you still hear
Like,
me?
I can, yeah. Like, if a person, like all my experiences I have every night, like if a person didn't have a good head on their shoulders, you could go insane.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It could drive you crazy,
Yeah.
some of the stuff that happens. Like, you know how some people have mental health issues? I don't think they do. I think they're just integrating so much stuff into themselves and they can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really fascinating. I love listening to you talk, and like you could literally go in so many different directions and like go,
Yeah, that's why I
tell us
can't.
about your astral travel.
Yeah, that's why when I do shows, I don't prepare. I have to let the information come. I'm not a very good talker. Like, I'm not. Like, I don't. When I'm talking with somebody else and you ask
You're
them questions,
great.
it's
What are
like
you talking about?
I'm channeling information that's coming through me to how to talk about it. But if I was just to go down the road and someone want to talk about this, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Oh, astral travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been happening all my life. Like, I remember even back when I was working in the woods, a job with my father and his friends and stuff, going out and having to sleep in the car at break time, or else just, and I would go out of body. I didn't even know what it was, and it happened over and over and over. So, and I don't try to have them. Sometimes I don't want them, and they happen. I still get fear, and I'm trying to get over that. Like, I'll fight it. I'll get stuck in sleep paralysis sometimes, and I can't get out. And I'm trying to wake myself up because I think I'm dying or something stupid, right? But you're not. Like, I just got to go with it and get out, right? And sometimes I just shoot out. Then I'm like, not fearful, and I'm kind of laughing. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm out again. And sometimes I just walk around the house here, and sometimes I can't get out of the room. I try to fly up to the ceiling, but I think even though we're in our astral, we can still be 3D densified dense, and I can't get through the wall because I'm not. It still seems solid, but I think our vibration can raise sometimes when I go out of body. I could be flying around here, or else I can appear on another planet, or else I can appear in the past or on another timeline. And it's just all different, right? Like, I think there's out of bodies and astral travel is two different things. Astral travel, I think sometimes we can go to the lower astral realms, the higher astral realms. And out of bodies, I think a lot of times we're out of body, we're just still here on this earth realm, but we're in the whatever, we're being that ghosts are kind of thing. So I'll have experiences like that where I will see other entities if I'm on here, if I have it out of body, like on Earth. Sometimes I'll appear back at my parents' house, and I had ones where I was like being chased by these reptilian beings. It was like the reptilian pets, like Dracos, and they were after me in the astral, and I was like running through the woods. But I could go through the trees and everything, but so could they. Like, they were chasing me, and then I would actually activate powers, and I'd be like shooting lasers out of my eyes and blowing the shit out of these things. And I'd wake up and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. And I used to have attacks where things would come in and set on me, and the way I got rid of them was I just started letting it happen and almost enjoying it. And then they just quit because they're like, okay, we're not bothering him no more. Like, he's laughing. Like,
Yeah, just a
I had,
test. What do you do for protection on a daily basis? Do you have protection protocols?
I do, but I don't do them right now. Only reason
Mm.
I'm not doing protection because I like to experiment. I'm allowing every entity, every energy to come to me right now. Like they can't hurt me. I'm not scared. Like I'm not gonna play fearful and say, "Oh my god, I got any attachment." I'm like, bring it. So I'm kind of leaving myself down, right? I think the more I'm doing that, the more I'm learning, right? But there is ways. I do have protocols on protection. Just I haven't been using them lately because I'm just kind of exploring what's out there for entities and what I'm trying to figure out who can attack you and what's out there. So I'm kind of allowing it right now. I think
Yeah.
if we all kind of allow it and research it, and not research it, but allow it and
Yeah.
just kind of be
If
like,
you as long
I
as
think,
if you can do that without moving into fear, if you can see it as a test and overcome it, then
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
really like I had something in my room last night and it was like weighing down my legs, like just my lower legs, as if someone was sitting on me, and I was like,
yeah,
what is this? I was furious. So then
yeah.
they're
I used to
feeding
get
off
that.
my anger and fury. Yeah.
No, I had
So
those ones, and
yeah.
I channel Azazel, the fallen angel Azazel
Oh,
too.
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
talk about it too much because I don't know what they are. I think they were good. I think he's good to tell you the truth. I think there's like the Cabal and Satanism that are using different energies. I think everything's upside down and
Mm.
backwards, right?
Yeah.
Like if I get a message from Azazel that's to me
Yeah.
seems like good, I'm not gonna say it's bad if it's a good message, right?
Yeah.
I try to I
Yeah.
don't
I'm
I try
pretty
to get no
sure he's
beliefs.
in my I think he is in one of my angel ones actually, and he's positive and he's a bit snazzy like a dancer. Let me just double check that. See if he's in here.
Like I say, I get the information from Azazel. I don't talk about it a whole lot because
I'm
I don't
sure
have a
I
belief
saw
system.
him in
I
here
don't I
once.
oh I don't have a belief system towards entities and beings yet because I don't know. Like we don't know. Like we can research and
Mm.
try to figure out who's who, but so I just kind of let it be. I have it on the back burner. That I know that that energy's there. I don't know whether it's
Yeah, I
what
wasn't sure
I
if I
don't know
could
what
talk
I
to you
don't.
about angels and stuff like that. I didn't know if you were into angels and dragons.
Dragons. I was a
Do you like
lot.
angels and dragons then?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
I
next
used to draw
time we can
dragons.
definitely
Like
talk
I used
about
to
angels and dragons.
like when I was younger. I drew dragons all the time. Like I used to draw. I still can, but I
Mm.
just don't do it anymore. But dragons was a big thing that I always drew pictures of. I had a big connection to dragons, and I did have a dragon guide before. They were showing me images of dragons returning on a possible timeline.
Wow.
Like I don't know if I want to call it remote viewing or not, but I think I bilocate a lot, or else I jump into other
Mm.
timelines. I don't like to call it timeline jumping, but I think I'm going into other dimensional spaces, and
Yeah.
I'm viewing possible timelines because I think they're changing all the time. So it's yeah, that's the kind of stuff that
Mm.
boggles your mind, right? Because I'm like, oh, what was that? Like,
No, I do that too. I've been told that I go in my dream time, I go into the past and I transfer information back and forth. And I've been told that I open up multidimensional stargates and portals everywhere. And I, I don't know. It's not like I'm doing. I have opened up something once in my room. I did open up a portal once, and I've released plasma ball, but that's like rare, you know.
yeah,
So I take everything with a pinch of salt these days.
yeah, same here.
So yeah.
I think it's interesting though.
Mm.
Like, I don't mind getting all those experiences. Like, I think I bilocate to the SSP. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I don't think I don't sometimes I don't think I'm there, but sometimes I am. Like it's two different experiences. Sometimes I had memories with Christy
Yeah.
Campbell too and others. But then again, sometimes
Yeah.
it's like I'm bilocating. I'm not there, but I'm there on the outside looking in, watching the programs going on. It's like I'm watching certain
Mm.
programs going on. I don't know where they are, what realm, or how they're happening, but I'm there watching it and bringing the information back here.
Yeah, because I mean, the Ibis project was time travel crystals and things like that. And quite a few of us are all connected because of the Ibis project. And then, of course, the
Mhm.
Phoenix and all that stuff. So, yeah, we're all kind of intertwined, aren't we? Across time, space, parallel lives and universes. So, yeah, I've just kind of come to
There's
terms with it now. Chrissy's been helping me with that.
Yeah. See,
So, just,
I don't talk about the
mm,
SSP stuff a lot because I don't know much about it, right? So, but I do have
mm.
experiences. I just haven't been talking about them because I don't know how to talk about it because I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But uh, but I'm trying to figure where I was going with this. Oh, I've been like in the past. I had a lot of, I don't know if it's SSP or Secret Space Program. I have no idea, but I'm
Mm.
connected to something called the Jupiter Alliance.
Oh, I've not heard of that. Has anybody heard of Jupiter
No, I don't,
Alliance? Let us know in the chat. Yeah. I've not heard of
and
that one. I'm
I
gonna
don't hear
write
no
that
one.
down actually.
I don't
I'm
hear
making
much people
notes
talking about that.
too, by the way.
No, yeah, I don't hear
I
anything
know
talked
I
about
am
that.
on Jupiter. I've had it confirmed that I am actually on Jupiter. Sean Bond confirmed that like last week. There's an aspect of me that's on Jupiter now.
Well, maybe you are a part of
Yeah.
that. Maybe you are part of
But
that,
I
and that's
don't know
why
if
I
it's
talked
part of
about
that
it.
alliance or not. That's interesting.
It could be, that could be like like the universe working together. I talked about that, and you're a
Maybe
part
there's
of it.
like there
Yeah.
was 25 million versions of me until last week.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have
Yeah,
many.
yeah. So I think you're picking up on my energy. Yeah, I've got loads of clones, although Sean Bond whittled them down from 25 million to about 30 last week. And I got attacked on the video as well. So it was like,
See, with Sean
yeah, not
Bond.
great.
Oh,
But you did a good job. You did a good job.
like
Yeah. He's like,
Sean Bond's on my Facebook. I haven't connected with him, but I
yeah, so
remember. I remember Sean
oh, you
when he first
did.
come out
Yeah.
a long. No, but I remember when he first come out a long, long, long time ago. Before I seen him back on the scene again. I know we've been always actively busy. Just I never followed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like the Jay Skyrunner, my Facebook's pretty new. I made it separate from my personal one for this stuff, just to keep it away from my regular stuff, right?
Mm,
So that's when I started seeing Sean on there. But
yeah.
he talked about some crazy stuff. I'm going back probably 10 years ago. Like I want to ask him about that again. He was on the old original Galactic
Yeah. I mean,
Historian. That Galactic History page was one of the first big ones that come out about all this stuff back in the day. It's not very popular now, but Sean was on there and doing a lot of
yeah.
talking and started some big waves about stuff back then. So that's when I followed him a long time ago, right? So I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind
He's pretty
doing
amazing.
some
And
connection
I
with
said
him.
to him recently, I said to him, look, have we got some connection? Because this is insane. He goes, yeah, it's Lemuria. I was like, oh, okay. So it's like every single person, we're all connected. You know, Lemuria, Atlantis, or whatever. And I was talking to
Yeah.
Phil Barry today. I was on his show. And yeah, again, Lemuria, you know. So it's
Well,
like we're all
Lemuria,
finding each other. And that's amazing, I think. Yeah.
I think we're a part of the Lemurian Atlantean Wars, and it's still going on.
Yeah.
Out of phase of our,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's out of phase out of our reality. But it's like Atlantis and
Mm.
Lemuria have been leapfrogging through time, and each one thinks that
Yeah.
they're right. I think something happened, like a nuclear bomb, that somehow put themselves out of this frequency, and that's why we're connecting to it, because it's still going on just
I
outside
find
of our.
it I find it very easy to phase back into Atlantis. I discovered that like this year. I can literally just sidestep into things because of the crystals there. I'm really connected. And the Violet Flame Temple energy, I can connect straight into Atlantis these days. And it's really clear and people can see what I'm seeing and stuff like that. So, but I don't have, I've got a few memories from Atlantis and I've only got one memory which was really vivid from Lemuria. And it was like I was the water element in Lemuria. And I've had it confirmed by somebody else that I was a mermaid or whatever, but it wasn't like I was a mermaid. It was like I was the water, because they were
Right.
so elemental, they could just change their form. You know, they were so
Mhm.
connected in Lemuria, but Atlantis was so much more head focused rather than heart focused. But I do have memory of being in Violet Flame Temple with Lady and Saint Germain, so that's got a lot clearer in the last year or so. Yeah, cool.
That's cool, because I used to have a
Yeah,
connection with Saint. I had a connection with Saint Germain energy too at one point. Not so much now,
what do you
but a lot of the
mean?
stuff about,
That's why
but a
we're
lot of the
connected.
it could be, yeah, like a lot of the Atlantean Lemurian stuff is, I can talk about a lot of that, but it's stuff that information I picked up 10 years ago. It hasn't been happening now. It was just back then
Yeah,
I was getting that energy back then. So I'm trying to recall some of
yeah,
that old memories, but I'm not picking up on that stuff so much now. Right now,
Oh,
it's mostly
wow.
I'm picking up mostly on our higher aspects outside of the 12 dimensions of how to bring this energy, and that's
Yeah.
where why I'm putting out my healing stuff more now instead of talking about this stuff so much. But it all ties
Yeah.
together, anyways. It all ties together.
Mm. I love talking about all of it.
Yeah, me too. That's why I go on
Yeah,
Rod's
I'm
show
more
all the
comfortable
time.
talking about flame energies and stuff. I think the energy's getting too high now.
Yeah.
So energy gets too high and it's dropping out. Anyway, okay. Jay, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining me this evening.
No, thank you for having me. It's fun. I like talking about this stuff.
Why don't you
Because
tell
when I'm
everybody how
talking,
they can find you and what you've got coming up? Tell them about where they can get that connection to your.
I'm just waiting for you to unfreeze. I think I missed the last section of what you said.
I still, I still hear you. Just tell everyone about your course links and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you just find me on YouTube at Jay Skyrunner, and I got my links are in the description there. And I got a lot of little sessions that I did with people. I used to do mini readings. I did some for Christy, Priscilla, James Rink. They're on there, and my show with you's on there. And on my lives, I got just some talks and some shows I did with people. Unfortunately, my good talks with Rob are gone because YouTube deleted his old channel, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, just go on YouTube, and I have a link there that takes you to a Google document
You know,
where
he
it
may still
shows.
have them on Odyssey.
Yeah, I should reach out to him. But my healing
Yeah,
course,
Rob
I
will
got a
probably
link.
still have those shows on Odyssey, so just let him know.
Yeah.
Mm,
But as far as my healing
right.
course, like I said, it's only $50, and the link's on my description. You just shows how to use PayPal, or if you're in Canada, you can just do it email money transfer. It's only a one-time payment for life. And I haven't been doing a lot of sessions, but I like doing them. So if anyone wants any, they can reach out to me because I do enjoy doing them. So I only did a few, like I say, but I do enjoy doing them.
Ooh. Are you still there, Jay?
Yeah, and I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally trying to kick me out now. So I'll
Right.
leave it there.
And
Thank you so much for joining me. This was great. And I'm going to try and connect with you to do a Zoom for one of my ladies' groups because I'm sure they'd love to ask you questions, but a bit more private, not live stream. And but yeah, this was brilliant. So thank you so
yeah,
much. And I'll speak
and
to you
what?
again.
Yeah, and before you go, I will take you up on the offer of the abundance thing sometime when you got time.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. We can do some money pulls and some magnetization. Yeah, we'll do that. All right.
Sure thing. Well,
Oh, thanks very much,
okay. Thanks for
guys.
having me.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye.